But Jagger, when he was like 3 years old, I remember I was on stage speaking, and the officer ran up to get me to let me know that my son had had a seizure and is being rushed to hospital, these kinds of things. And I'm like, oh, you're driving as fast as you can to get to the hospital and do it. And you're just the unknown. You're praying.
Right.
So that's when sometimes the baddest situations, they bring you closer to God than you. Sometimes we wonder why bad things happen. I'm sure God wants to hear from us. He wants to connect with us.
Yeah.
He's teaching us something. But I remember driving and praying and getting there, and all the things on the heads, and all the things and all the tests and all that. And they had no explanation, which the doctor told us that's the best case scenario. You want no explanation. Wow. And we prayed about it, and finally God healed him of this. And we always wondered, I wonder what God is trying to teach us through this situation. Years later, we have somebody come into church, and they're really wanting to drop their child off, but their child is prone to having seizures.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, we went through the same thing with our son. And I got to share our story of God's healing. She felt comfortable, and all of a sudden now she's leaving the child behind for us to love on and to have fun with. And it's like, wow, she never would have done that unless maybe we would have gone through a situation like this. And I'm not saying it has to happen that way, but when we recognize it and appreciate that, I hated going through this. You probably hated going through that situation because
wouldn't wish it on anybody.
Right. But when you look back now, reflecting back, you always say hindsight's 20/20. You're thankful that God's in charge and we're not. You get to look back on that and realize, wow, God knew what he was doing. We went through a very, very difficult situation, but now we're going to use what he's gifted us with to go and to share that with others and to help others feel comfortable or get through what they're going through.
Yeah, one of the greatest joys is when you can lighten somebody's burden by, hey, I've been there and